Okay, so we have two speakers up here, but actually today we're only going to have Mr. Lim present, and he's going to present from MPPCL. You see the title, From Plant Information to Commercial Knowledge with PI System 2015, Holistic Data Approach. So David Lim has been working in the IT industry for 20 years and has worked for a number of technologies, including technology companies, including HP, Microsoft, and Cisco. So good, very strong technology background. David founded Calibr8 Systems with a focus as a PI system integrator. So let's welcome David.
Thank you very much, Chris. So good morning to everybody. So in behalf of MPPCL, I'll be presenting what they have done for the PI system from plant information to commercial knowledge with PI System 2015, and it's a holistic data approach, so not just plant information, but data infrastructure for the whole enterprise. So it's just unfortunate that Mr. Ignacio cannot make it due to some urgent matters back in the plant. So I'll be discussing what we have done together in MPPCL. So just a quick background first on the Philippines. Philippines is composed of 7,100 islands. So Luzon is the biggest group of islands. So Luzon has about 65% of the population and the center of business and economy in the Philippines. So as you can see, the blue one is the available capacity in terms of power and energy, electricity. So to be very frank with you guys, the Philippines as a whole is still under supply of electricity. So there's still a lot of places in the Philippines that is rolling blackouts. So maybe 2 to 3 hours without electricity. So for us, some take it for granted that we have electricity, but in some of our my countrymen, they don't have electricity, sometimes at night. So the government is doing a lot of things. So there's a lot of committed projects, a lot of power plants that's being commissioned. So this is data from last year. So during April, it's the peak or the most critical time in the Philippines because weather is very hot, high temperatures. 15% of the power comes from hydro. So when there's no rain, the water levels are down. So there's pressure from the government to the coal plants to produce more. This comes where the efficiency comes in. And as you can see last year, it's very tight that we just came across the supply and demand. But this year, we're again seeing that it might be a problem. So just making sure, that's why the guys from MPPCL decided not to go because, again, government wants the power to be stable because of the weird weather right now. So as you can see, there's a lot of projects, but again, it's all about efficiency for them. So this is just this year, it might be tight again. Just a quick background on MPPCL. So it's a coal-fire plant. It's an independent power producer. The current installed capacity is 600. But towards the end of 2019 or 2018, it will be a total of 1,200. So for Unit 3, it's ongoing right now. But what is very exciting is that on the 40 megawatt battery energy storage solution system, the facility, because they feel that we're now going to renewables, and also MPPCL will be the first one to have this battery facility in the Philippines. So it's a very exciting time for them. So what MPPCL has done is they have a complete view of their plant using the PI system from coal up to the emissions. So government is is monitoring the emissions very tightly nowadays because of pressure from abroad as well to cut down the carbon emissions. But they still believe that the base load will still come from coal. So even though there's a lot of wind and solar farms that's being commissioned, the government believes that coal will be still the base load for the Philippines. They're putting some strong monitoring on the emissions so that they could comply with the environment systems. So we did an asset framework, a hierarchy based on their assets. This is why they got to get all the data across the enterprise. So what's nice about this is that all the users, each sections of all the operations and maintenance can actually be independent in making their own process book data link reports. So we made it easy for all the users so that everything is under one logical hierarchy. So just an example, since we've built the AF already, so views are made for different kinds of users. So the full plant data is from the plant and also from the HQ, which is 500 kilometers away. All the users are trained to have the process book that they could optimize, always update, revise, because they can always link to the asset framework. We cannot overemphasize the value of the asset framework to them because it makes the users and also the IT guys' lives very easy. So another example of different kinds of views that we built for MPPCL. This is with the Transpara Visual KPI. This is the views that are seen by the commercial trading team. It's very easy because it has direct integration with the asset framework. We don't have to do much. Once we set it up on the asset framework, automatically the users from the HQ, 500 kilometers away, can build their own dashboards. And only the data that they need can be seen. Uh, they are monitoring very closely the boiler feed pumps. So they know if one of the feed pumps is not performing. Again, this is due to what we have set up in asset framework. So if one is underperforming against the other, they could verify, diagnose already, instead of waiting for certain parameters that will be reached. And they've done several analytics, so from cycle overview, heat rate calculation, coal conversion data. Again, it's about flexibility of the system, the user independence, because they're trained to do it, and the data is outside the control room. It's on the PI system, and within the PI system, everybody can do their own thing already. So reports. So the reports are not just for operations, but for billing, accounting as well. I'll show you later on why is it very important. Then, so it cuts across the enterprise. So we've trained both plant and also the HQ team on using data link. So just a simple diagram that just to show that the data is already outside the control room. So once it's outside, users are again trained to all the data that they want. They could do all their own process book and their data link reports. So just to listing down what they have right now, I just want to emphasize on the SRP. So we take it for granted about the annual maintenance, but it became a key factor because now, starting last year actually, or even 2014, when we do the renewals, we do a briefing on what's new with the PI system. That's what they'll try to learn more, and they become very innovative in terms of the new features that PI is coming out. So when they learn that we are having especially the future data, they introduce us to the commercial team. So the plant guys are very happy, showing to the HQ guys, hey, we have done so much in the plant. I think it's now time for you guys to explore the PI system as well. So now we're going not just operational technology, but going into IT. So we're now heavily working with the IT guys and the HQ guys, the business users, on how to make their operations efficient as well. So we're linking data from the spot market, from their billing, and also other data sources. So the more data that comes into the PI, the more intelligent it becomes. So MPPCL is one of the unique power generation plants in the Philippines that they have this flexible terms in terms of how they do business with their clients. So normally power plants have long contracts, but they have only set a minimum of 5 years. And as you can see, they could buy out the contract. They want to aggressively play in the spot market because they believe that they want to take advantage of those opportunities. So we have in the Philippines Wholesale Electricity Spot Market, WESM. So the objective of the government is to really lower the cost of electricity. So Philippines is one of the highest electricity rates in the world. So I think we're in the top 5, maybe because of the supply and demand. So the government is trying to push this down by having the spot market. And it is mandated that 10% of the capacity should be in the spot market. And over the next few years, it might increase to 20 to 30%. So MPPCL is really gearing up for this, as they believe that 2017 onwards, when all the capacity is there already, it would be more competitive. So they need to adjust right now and prepare for it, not just when the problem or the challenge is there that they would be reactive. They're now thinking strategically because they have the data. If they have the data, they feel that they could work together, collaborate together, because before, sometimes they're telling me the shutdown depends on when the commercial trading would tell them this is a lean period, you can shut down and do preventive maintenance, or sometimes they don't talk to each other. But now, since the PI system is the central repository for all data, they could now really sit down and tell management when is the best time to do the maintenance, which is good because the commercial team would now have a say as well. Hey, this is the least opportunity lost, and in terms of operations, it would be the best time. So the energy market in the Philippines is constantly changing. Right now, the industrial customers with the 1 megawatt requirements can directly bid for their capacity in the spot market. And bidding is now hourly basis. By come next year, it's 5 minutes. So you need real-time data from the plant, and also your algorithms. You must crunch the numbers very quickly. They were always joking or kidding me, the traders, that the practice that they had before is they go to the casino, they gamble, so that how do they say it? They have the guts to bet, because they don't have data. So it just depends on how to win or lose for the company. But they have to have that, how to bet, a good bet. So that's their training. They were always kidding me. But now they're having data. It's more of a science already, which they like. They could sleep more. So the current process before was that all Excel spreadsheets, and the data from the spot market is emailed after already. But right now, we're collecting it in real time, and everything is in Pi. So all the data is being historized, analyzed, and with the future data, they're now starting to do forecasting. To be honest, they even told me that we understand it's not perfect, but the more data that we put in, the more accurate it becomes. But we need to start somewhere. If we don't start now, we can't get those accuracy by 2017 or onwards. So just to tell you what we're doing on the commercial side. So on the spot market, via file transfer, it goes to the AES server. This is by mandate of the spot market. We cannot go directly because for security purposes, that was told to us. But at least we now get every 15 minutes a file dump from the spot market. Then we automatically upload it to the Pi server. And we built an application for their trading. Again, all the calculations that they have on Excel, we put it on the Pi via Pi SDK. There's still a database server because we're linking it to their billing. And the billing is linked to their ERP. So because, as I mentioned before, the contractual parameters and also there are not just selling to the T&D, they're selling to a lot of industrial customers. So it's very complex. The billing is very complex. So right now, since everything is in Pi, so everybody's happy. So everybody has their own view. Everybody has their own reports. So it's getting pretty exciting for them because what they like about it is about the collaboration. So this is when the battery facility comes in. The traders are getting excited again because they can get the data in real time from the battery facility, and it becomes an advantage for them. So we're not just talking about efficiency, savings, or operational or any maintenance savings, but this is more of revenue generating because since the Philippine market for energy is kind of complex as well, they feel that the battery facility can fill in the gaps, and they could bid when there's a shortage, bid high, and get a return very high as well. So because they have this, they can forecast. That's what they believe that they would be doing in the near future. And we're also starting to talk to them about integrating it to their SAP systems, especially to their SAP HANA. So this is in the roadmap, maybe in the next 2 months, since they are also using SAP. And going into the 5 minutes bidding, this would be very advantageous for them. So it's not just about operational efficiency, but it has become now incremental revenue for them. So instead of just waiting or, like I mentioned, gambling on the bid, it's now become a science because they have the data across the plant and also from the spot market. The spot market, they could now also trend the competitor's bid. So they know where to bid exactly because they have the data. So with that, you could contact us, and thank you very much. So.
Thank you, David. Do we have any questions for David? Come on, that coffee's got to kick in a little bit. Right over here.
Yes, hi, good morning.
Morning.
When you talked about the analytics you were doing in process book and asset framework. Are you doing that instead of like having third-party sort of software solutions, like for the heat rate and things like that?
Before they have the ETA-Pro, but when we check it out, so since the PI system can actually accommodate those kinds of analytics, they're actually saving some maintenance costs on ETA-Pro. So it's still a hybrid right now, but little by little they're moving out of ETA-Pro because that's why the renewals are very important, because there's always new functionalities and the PI system can handle more and more. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to add to that response. We have a white paper now on doing thermal performance optimization within PI AF. We'll make that available. It's actually available on our Pi Square users group. It's one of the first documents that we stuck out there, so we knew we'd have a lot of interest. Any more questions? All right, well, I want to thank David. When Caesar had to cancel, we were like, look, I still want this paper, because I thought this was an amazing job that you guys did. So
you.
fantastic.
Thank you.